Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Just now at 5, we're waking up under a blanket of smoke once again today as fires rage out of control up north. We'll have a look at the firefighting progress and what you can do to protect your health.
A quiet evening grabbing pizza interrupted by gunfire. A shooting between an off-duty deputy and a suspect erupts outside a restaurant in northeast Bakersfield. We'll tell you what we know so far.
In watching the numbers as more cases roll in, the county public health director talks about what it would take to get Kern off the state's watch list, and if we're even close. This is Friday, August 21st, 2020. Good morning, 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen here along Taylor Schaub once again this morning in for Alex, and we're all talking about the smoke and how it's affecting us. We can hear it in our voices. We can feel it in our chests. It's miserable.
Oh, I had to spend an hour outside cleaning up my car yesterday, and it was absolutely miserable. I was wearing a mask.
Oh my gosh.
And Kevin, please tell us that's going to get a little better today.
Yeah, we want to talk first about the smoke that's causing it. It's making the air quality extremely unhealthy. Residents are asked to stay home or stay indoors and wear a mask if you do need to go outside.
Our primary advice is the see and smell rule. So we have monitors in place because they detect the microscopic stuff that we can't see and we need to protect ourselves from. But if you're at the point where you see and smell it, you don't need a monitor to confirm that you should just stay inside.
An air quality alert remains in effect today, and in an effort to reduce pollution due to the poor air quality, Get is offering free rides for Bakersfield residents. The company announced all Get fixed routes and Get a Lift rides, which take riders to specific locations around town, are included in the free offer. Get says the offer lasts all day today. Anything, every little bit, I guess, that we can do helps.
Yeah, because there's no relief inside here. We're going to continue to see the smoke and haze, and that's why that air quality alert is still in place and will be around for a while. We're sitting at 76 degrees right now with no winds around the area. Temperatures this afternoon will rise near 100, and guess what? I didn't even really tell you yet. We broke the heat wave. Yesterday, 97 degrees because of the smoke. We weren't allowed to heat up as much, so heat wave number 6 has come to an end. 59 degrees for Tehachapi right now. A light wind out of the southeast at 6, and temperatures are going to be a little tricky up in the mountains today because of the smoke as well, but we are expecting them to reach the lower 90s.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Now to a look at what's causing all this bad air. Fires across the state are getting worse. Jennifer Bjorklund reports from Vacaville in Solano County up north.
Firefighting crews are losing ground as hundreds of fires team up against them.
Honestly, our resources are stretched very far.
And prisoner crews, which normally work the front lines, are unavailable. They are the same low-risk prisoners who got coronavirus pandemic furloughs to ease overcrowding. In the paths of the flames, the only option is to get out of the way.
The fire was loud. It whistled. You could hear trees falling. It was the scariest thing.
The fires turned deadly, killing a utility lineman working with fire crews. And in the Central Valley, veteran pilot Mike Fournet's water-dropping helicopter went down.
Not gonna be the same without him. He changed so many people's lives for the best, and people are gonna miss him so much.
He died protecting lives and property of some of the more than 60,000 people evacuated. 100,000 more are on standby as relentless flames press on with no relief in the forecast until at least Saturday. Jennifer Bjorklund, NBC News, Vacaville, California.
And as just mentioned, the LNU Lightning Complex wildfire continues to burn in 5 counties up north, and it has turned deadly. PG&E confirms a Vacaville-based trouble man died while assisting first responders in the battle against the flames. And according to CAL FIRE, 3 people were found dead yesterday in a home in Napa County. The complex fires actually several blazes, which were started by lightning. Altogether, they've grown to 215,000 acres. So far, 480 structures have been destroyed. The fire is 0% contained. And the CZU Lightning Complex fire burning in Santa Cruz and San Mateo counties started Monday and has burned more than 48,000 acres. Almost 21,000 structures are currently in danger. 50 have been destroyed, according to CAL FIRE. 48,000 people have been evacuated on the path of that fire. 3 firefighters have been injured and taken to the hospital, but all are expected to be okay. Police are asking residents not to go back into evacuated areas for their own safety and safety of firefighters.
I want to make sure the citizens understand that in order for us to do our job, we need to make sure they are safe. So if they are still in the area, their safety is always our concern. So please heed the warnings, get out of the area, let us do our job. We'll do the best to protect your property, but most importantly, we want to make sure you're protected.
The fire's 0% contained this morning. Meantime, the Lake Fire, which is about 75 miles south of Bakersfield, is 52% contained and has grown to more than 27,000 acres. 21 structures have burned. Officials say the fire's burning in areas that are hard to reach in the Angeles National Forest, making it more difficult to contain. This is one of the many fires our local crews are helping with.
Now to breaking news from overnight. A man was killed in an officer-involved shooting in northeast Bakersfield. According to the Kern County Sheriff's Department, just after 6:30 last night, Bakersfield police responded to Tony's Pizza, just off the Alfred Harrell Highway, for an officer-involved shooting involving an off-duty deputy and a suspect. The suspect, a man, was killed. KCSO says a gun was recovered at the scene that did not belong to the deputy. The deputy and restaurant goers were not hurt. Not many details have been released about what led up to the shooting. The Kern County Sheriff's Office has told us this morning that it has taken over the investigation from BPD because it involves their personnel. The deputy has been placed on a routine paid administrative leave as part of their protocol.
Turning now to the coronavirus pandemic, another person has died, according to Kern County Public Health. The department announced 194 new cases yesterday. Here's where we stand today. More than 16,000 people are still isolated in their homes. More than 240 people hospitalized, with 66 in the ICU. The state health department says that's 10 fewer people over a 2-week period. For 1 month now, Kern County's been on the state's monitoring list, but when will we get off the list? Public Health Director Matt Constantine says as it stands now, it's unlikely we'll be off anytime soon because we're not meeting certain criteria. Specifically, Kern's COVID positivity rate for those tested over a 7-day period is more than 20%. The state's asking it for it to be 8% or below. The case rate per 100,000 people stands at 307. The state wants that number below 100. Finally, the county must have more than 20% of its ICU bed capacity available. Constantine says that number's fluctuated throughout the Golden Empire.
We now know the names of 2 people killed in a multi-vehicle crash near the Grapevine last weekend. Police say a driver, 58-year-old Matilde Saavedra, and her passenger, 15-year-old Courtney Louisville, died after the crash Sunday on I-5 just north of Highway 166. The California Highway Patrol says a Ford F-150 was traveling south on I-5 when the driver lost control and veered across the median. The pickup crashed into a Honda SUV heading northbound. The Honda overturned and landed in an orchard. The 2 people who died in the SUV and 3 others were taken to the hospital, including 2 teens with major injuries.
5:09 is your time now, and we have new details about a vehicle that may have been involved in a deadly shooting at the Ram Kabir Motel. You may remember the shooting. We told you about it on August 9th. Officers found Christopher Davis lying in the road after he was shot at the motel on Union Avenue. No suspects have been identified, but BPD said a van was seen speeding away. Bakersfield police released this picture of a van. Take a good look. They're asking anyone who may recognize it to call them at 327-7111.
The Kern County Sheriff's Office needs your help in finding a suspect accused of stealing produce in Bakersfield. They say a person in this photo stole grapes from a vineyard near Enos Lane and Sullivan Road on Monday. If you know who they are or know any information about the case, you're asked to call KCSO at 861-3110.
Your help is needed to find a giant Smokey the Bear sign that could have been stolen. The Kernville Chamber of Commerce says they noticed the sign on Highway 178 at Sierra Way was missing on Sunday morning. It was made by a local woodworker and cost $1,000 to make. Smokey is a national icon who represents wildfire prevention. The sign belongs to the Forest Service. If you've seen it, they'd like to hear from you.
If you're looking to visit a loved one in a local jail or prison, you won't be able to this weekend. The Kern County Sheriff's Office says they've canceled visitation tomorrow for all Kern County detention facilities. They say the closure is due to a computer upgrade. The cancellation affects the entire Lairdrow complex of buildings as well as the downtown jail.
Golden Empire Transit's being honored for its work in Kern County. The American Public Transportation Association has given GET the Innovation Award for its work in the public transportation industry. The GET bus service implemented a Reading Express program where they turned a bus into a mini mobile library stocked with children's books. Officials said the books made the daily commute ride more fun for kids and less daunting for parents. The program had to be suspended due to COVID-19, but GET says it hopes to start it up again as soon as it's safe.
All right, the Blessing Corner Ministries is planning its own food distribution event this weekend. The free drive-up giveaway is happening Sunday from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. The Blessing Corner is located at 101 Union Avenue at 1st Street. Pastor Bonnie Turner says that with most kids beginning the new school year on Monday, they want to do what they can to help local families. If you want to go on Sunday, make sure you wear a mask.
A coalition of local organizations is trying to help out Kern County seniors. The group, which includes the Bakersfield Association of Realtors, CityServe, and the Kern County Aging and Adult Services, is asking for donations to deliver to seniors that are staying home during the pandemic and can't leave to buy food or necessities. They're asking for non-perishable food, water, paper goods, toiletries, cleaning supplies, and gift cards. You can drop off donations at the Association of Realtors on Bahamas Drive, and they'll collect donations Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. They also need volunteers to put these care packages together. If you're interested, go to CityServe's website at cityservebakersfield.com. Amazon's massive new fulfillment center in Bakersfield has been shrouded in secrecy since the project was first made public 2 years ago. But KGT was able to get an inside look yesterday at the 240,000 square feet or 64,000 square feet for each of the building's 4 floors. The Amazon Fulfillment Center becomes the largest building in Kern County. Inside is a network of conveyor belts, shafts, and other product movers. The Fulfillment Center solidifies Kern County's status as a distribution hub. It might not look busy yet, but September 6th is the big day. That's when 1,000 employees will show up for work.
Well, Wall Street is predicted to open slightly lower this morning. Many stocks posted gains yesterday, with the Nasdaq closing at a record high. Investors rushed to large cap tech and e-commerce stocks after a set of economic reports raised concerns about the U.S.'s economy's recovery from the pandemic. Weekly unemployment claims rising back above 1 million. And a set of leading economic indicators only showed marginal improvement. In focus today, data existing home sales.
Estee Lauder's feeling the effects of the coronavirus. The cosmetic giant announces major changes, including up to 2,000 layoffs. At least 10% of Estee Lauder stores will close. Company officials say the pandemic has affected the bottom line and announced a 2-year plan to adjust its investments. They'll also focus on digital capabilities, advertising, and promotions.
And in education news, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed plans for the annual Kern County College Night. This year, the event will be held virtually on Monday, September 14th from 4 to 7 p.m. The organizing committee is working with schools to provide video materials and virtual campus tours. Students and parents will be able to access pre-recorded information sessions in English and Spanish on Canvas, the educational program. Then there will be a live question and answer period following each session. Organizers will release a schedule September 1st.
A fight for the soul of America. That's how Joe Biden's describing the 2020 presidential election. He ended the Democratic National Convention last night with a promise to deal with racial injustice and get coronavirus under control. Tracy Potts has our story from Washington.
Democrats closed this year's convention with emotion.
Without Joe Biden, I wouldn't be talking to you today.
Urgency, we must vote, and repeated attacks on President Trump.
A coward in chief who won't stand up to Vladimir Putin.
Former challengers and family.
He'll be a great president.
Introducing Joe Biden as the party's nominee for president.
If you entrust me with the presidency, I will draw on the best of us, not the worst.
Biden offering hope and justice
for those communities who have known the injustice of a knee on the neck.
He promised a national mask mandate to control coronavirus, framing this election as a battle for the heart and soul of America.
Character is on the ballot. Compassion is on the ballot, and the choice could not be more clear.
With his donor-turned-postmaster testifying today, the president in Biden's hometown still railing against mail ballots.
We'll grab it, and we'll just put them in a big pile there. Everyone grab it. It's a disgrace. Even common sense tells you that.
But ballots will decide this election in 74 days. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Wilmington, Delaware.
A Florida man with ties to Steve Bannon has been arrested and charged with wire fraud and money laundering, following Bannon's arrest on Thursday. Federal prosecutors allege this man, Andrew Bottolato, along with Bannon and 2 others, misused money raised from the online crowdfunding campaign called We Build the Wall. Bottolato, Bannon, Brian Kolfage, and Timothy Shea raised more than $25 million from hundreds of thousands of donors. The money was supposed to be spent constructing a border wall between the U.S. and Mexico, but according to the attorney's office, it was instead misused on personal expenses.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.